Whatever the reason, Nuland's removal is a commendable move, a moment worth relishing in the tumult of international politics. We will tell you all about it, but before that, if you're a fan of non-corporate funded free news and analysis, you've landed on the right YouTube channel. We publish 3 videos a day, first at 9:15 a.m. EST, second at 1:30 p.m. EST, and the third at 5:30 p.m. EST. So if that's of interest to you, whenever Nuland comes to work for your company, make her the Moscow in charge. Okay, let's begin. Victoria Nuland's exit from her career signals a tacit acknowledgement of a monumental flop in America's foreign policy endeavors. Emblematic of failure, no other official is as synonymous with the Ukraine debacle as Victoria Nuland herself. Her involvement isn't just surface level, it's deep-rooted, dating back to her hands-on meddling during the 2014 Euromaidan political upheaval, through to her steering the State Department's dubious role amidst ongoing conflicts. Her professional trajectory is now forever marred by the disastrous consequences of a NATO-endorsed calamity, leaving behind a trail of Ukrainian casualties and widespread destruction. The audacity of her actions attempting to ensnare NATO in a futile conflict with Russia ostensibly led to her downfall, or should we say, her quote-unquote voluntary retirement. It's a thinly veiled concession, one that reeks of desperation to distance from the quagmire she's implicated in. And yet, the State Department's press statement tries to paint a different picture, lauding her leadership on Ukraine as if it were a masterstroke in diplomatic strategy, crucial in countering Putin's aggression and bolstering Ukraine's sovereignty. This commendation paradoxically casts a glaring spotlight on Nuland, attributing the Ukrainian fiasco's blame squarely to her. It's a stark, unflattering legacy for someone once deemed a key player in US foreign policy, now left to contend with the repercussions of a controversial tenure. Indeed, Nuland was heralded as indispensable for her zeal in challenging Putin, masterfully marshalling a global coalition to wage a proxy war against Russia. This acclaim merely underscores her pivotal role in engineering the present conflict, implicating her in the escalation of NATO's rifts, the relentless bloodshed, and America's strategic blunder against its chief geopolitical adversary, Russia. No other official bears the brunt of the Ukrainian debacle's responsibility as heavily as Victoria Nuland. Her departure marks the legacy of an unparalleled disaster, leaving a predicament seemingly without resolution or escape. The Biden administration caught in this direct face-off with Moscow is unlikely to retreat, opting instead for a face-saving advance regardless of the dire implications. This obstinate course risks exacerbating tensions with allies and ceding significant territories of eastern Ukraine to Russian forces. Victoria Nuland, once a titan among diplomats within the State Department, now finds herself a scapegoat amid one of the gravest crises of our time. After a so-called distinguished 35-year tenure, her most crucial mission has culminated in abject failure, leading to her being unceremoniously dumped. Her potential to cling to power might have lingered if the war showed any inkling of success. Yet, the situation on the ground speaks to an unparalleled debacle. The Ukrainian defenses are crumbling, the death toll skyrockets, and the forces find themselves overwhelmingly outmatched. Since Putin's strategic mobilization, the conflict has turned into a slaughterhouse with young soldiers perishing en masse. This catastrophic scenario signals an impending conclusion, one that necessitates a fall guy. Thus, Nuland emerges unwittingly with a target squarely placed on her. Victoria Nuland's fall from grace is as warranted as it is revelatory of her character. As an unyielding war hawk, she has habitually manipulated truths, crafting cases belie from half-truths and blatant lies, all to hurl the US into yet another futile and ignominious conflict. Nuland, alongside her infamous counterparts John Brennan and Hillary Clinton, has toxified American politics, canonizing Russophobia and besmirching the nation's standing globally. Nuland's exit is far from a dignified bow-out. It's a dismissal by those in the corridors of power, disillusioned by her bombastic Declarations and failed promises outmaneuver Putin. A removal signifies a tacit admission. The proxy war is a debacle, necessitating a fresh approach, one devoid of Nuland's influence. As the curtain falls on her career, the specifics of this policy shift remain uncertain. What's crystal clear, however, is Nuland's exclusion from its execution, a fitting end for someone whose actions have long since called for accountability. As Nuland grovels in the lowly dusts of infamy, Ursula von der Leyen, her ideological sister, is sharing her share of failures too. Watch this video to know more.